Okay, gentlemen, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be back here first, so if you guys can switch your view. Alright, so today we're just going to talk about task-based learning, right? TBL, or task-based learning. Alright, so first, I'm going to describe TBL. Alright? Then I'm going to show you guys some examples, okay? And then we're going to just discuss how we can use TBL in the HIWPT context. Okay? So yesterday we talked about a certain Jamal was up here and he gave a presentation about which methodology. What methodology of classroom instruction we used?
The approach, I guess, most probably was presentation, practice, production.
Yeah, PPP, right? Because I remember basically Jamal mentioned, what was the first stage?
No, presentation.
Lead in, I get a lead in, warm up. Then you have presentation, and then practice. And I think by then we got kind of busy and we didn't really go on to the next stage, which is production, right?
Right.
And we were talking about practice. Excuse me, my handwriting is really poor. So anyways, so yeah, presentation, present the language, practice, is this more controlled or is it free? It's got, you get one autonomous learning in the practice stage? Huh? What's that? No, it's controlled, it's more restricted, right? And then you have the production stage, which is freer, right? It's a freer activity. Okay. In regards to task-based learning, like what Base was talking about yesterday, there's a lot more focus on learner autonomy. Okay. Really, when we talk about a task in TBL, we're not really talking about a controlled practice or a freer practice. Because really, the word freer practice, in terms of a PPP, wouldn't be that, or in terms of TBL, task-based learning, wouldn't be considered very free. Okay, which we'll talk about in a bit. Okay, so PPP is usually staged like this: presentation, practice, production. I'm gonna hand out, give you guys a handout, the different stages of a TBL compared to a PPP. So if you guys could go ahead and come down.
Nope.
And you can hand down that way. Great. Okay, guys. So with the TBL, there are in fact different models, if you will. Okay. There are different models. This model that I'm giving you guys now is one that was made popular by Jane Willis, Dave Willis, okay? The one that I like. It's kind of, it's in the middle, all right? In task-based learning, there's hard and soft versions, okay? Once you understand the idea of TBL, then we can start getting into the more nuances, okay? So as you see here, this is PPP, right? PPP, okay? Over here, presentation, practice, control, production, freedom. cycle includes the task, planning, reporting. Okay? And then language focus. Language focus. Some people describe the TBL as basically the PPP, but right side up or upside down, right? Upside down or right side up, depending on what you're getting into. So the language focus, okay, here people can say the language focus comes kind of in the beginning, right? You have the presentation of the language, the grammar, the vocabulary, what have you. Then you have control restricted practice of it. And then the students are given a little bit more autonomy to practice it in a more freer environment. Over here, actually, we basically give them the task beforehand. Afterwards, we do a language focus, all right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys an example. Well, actually, sorry. I'm going to mention a few things here. Gamal mentioned yesterday, he asked you guys, what are the components of language learning, right? According to task-based learning, the most important component, okay, is basically acquisition. SLA, or second language acquisition. Alright? And there are 4 components of language acquisition, okay? And this is proposed by J. Willis, actually. Can anybody have any ideas about what these 4 components are? Yesterday we talked about different things with Gamal, right? What were some of the ideas that we talked about? You guys know what language acquisition is, by the way? Yeah. Language acquisition, right? It's not necessarily you learn a language, not necessarily by formal education, right? By example, like a kid learning English, growing up in an English-speaking household, doesn't necessarily get lessons when he's a child, right? He acquires the language, right? So what are some components of language acquisition? What? Emergence? Okay, the way she explains this is exposure. It's language exposure. Now, what are different ways we can be exposed to language?
You hear people talking, you can watch TV, you can watch movies, listen to the radio.
Good, all great ways. One, yeah, big there is listening. Okay, listening is a big component. What else? Reading, speaking, writing, etc., right? Using the language, being around the language, okay? So we have exposure. Also, some other ones she mentions is motivation. Okay? That for a second language, because this is the second language acquisition as compared to first language, okay? The student should be motivated. That's the kind of motivation to learn language. The next one is that the language used should be real. That this exposure of language that you have and the use of language that you have should be something that you would use in a real context. Okay? And then finally, language focus. Okay? Now this one, language focus, Jane Willis, okay, she's a big proponent of TBL. Kind of breaks this language focus into 3 components, right? You should have accuracy. You should also have fluency. and complexity. Alright? Complexity, alright, actually I think we all know that, right? Speaking with correct grammar, using vocab in the correct way, less items, correct way. Fluency, being able to have, being able to have the ability to communicate, right? Without much interruption. Okay. I mean, we can get into a little bit more of a debate about what exactly these terms mean, but just a general feel. And complexity, what do you mean complexity means?
Innate. You can express complicated ideas.
Complicated ideas. Like every day, for example, if I just talk about something basic, like can I go to the bathroom? Do I know English if I can speak really fluently and accurately how to go to the ask the waiter how to go to the restroom? No. I mean, you need to have more complexity, right? You need to have a wider variety to your repertoire, right? Speak about a variety of topics, variety of fields, use different grammar constructs, etc. So complexity. So basically, the language focus in any good language instruction should develop the students in these three ways, not just one or the other. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a presentation of a TBL. You guys teach this, will now be the students, okay? And we'll go ahead. I want you guys to think, the task is, I want you guys to think as you're doing it. Where do these come into play? Okay? Exposure, motivation, real language use, language focus, as we do in the lesson. And where, in which part do we improve or develop students' accuracy, fluency, or complexity? Alright? Just keep that in mind as we do it. Alright, so right away, Argentina, okay, with Argentinian students. And, but I used the task-based learning format to do it. Go ahead. Okay. All right, does anybody know what this sound refers to, teachers? Which sound does this refer to? Good. And this one? Good. All right, now, just for a little demonstration of the difference between these two. It's like the difference between an S and a Z, right? All right, so if you, let's pronounce the S here. I want you guys to put your hands over your ears and pronounce the S. Then I want you to go to the Z. What's the difference there? Vibration. All right, vibration. Yeah, vibration is the difference between a Z and an S. Okay, vibration. Vibration is your vocal cords. Okay. The difference. Okay. Now, what's the difference between a S and a sh?
The basic articulation.
Huh?
The basic articulation.
Yes, the basic articulation. So the S, where is it? Alveolar. Yes, before it's behind the teeth a bit. Yeah. And then what about the sh? Palatal. That's where your tongue goes up, kind of on the top of your tongue. It's in more. It gets closer, right? It gets closer to your back of your throat a little bit. Okay? And that place, when you're doing that sound, right? That's the same place of articulation for all of them. Okay? All of them share that place of articulation. All four of these sounds. Okay? So the difference between, this is the same place of articulation, but what's the difference between a sh and a sh?
One is voice and another one is voiceless.
Voiceless, right, it's vibration, right? Which one has vibration? This one. Good. Alright, coming over here, we have, what's the sound?
J.
J and sh. Alright, now this is actually, it's actually a mix, right? We have a D plus a sound, right? And we have a T plus a sh, right? So when we pronounce it D, okay, excuse me, when we pronounce this, how long can I keep doing this? So I run out of breath. Okay, so you guys get really annoyed at it, right? Now, over here, how about this sound? Duh. How long can you keep doing that? Duh. You can't do it. You do it once. Because this has to do, what's the distinguishing characteristic of this? Why is it duh? Yeah.
It's, I think, not fricative. The first one was a fricative, this is sha.
Yes.
Sha fricative. The other one is not.
Not. What is it?
It's, I think it is stop.
Yeah, stop or plosive, right? Duh. Good. Duh. And now if you get that type of pronunciation, right, the plosive, you get a plosive and you mix it with that, you get a J sound, right? J. Alright? Then over here, same thing. The difference between a D and a T is what? Duh and ta. What's the difference? Duh and ta.
It means voice and voiceless.
Voice and voiceless, once again, right? And one way you can tell this with the ta, you usually have air coming out. Okay? When your vocal cords vibrate, usually you don't have as much air, aspiring. It's aspiration, right? Good. So we have a ja and a sha. Check. All right, guys. Normally, during the when I did this lesson with the Argentinian students, I handed out little pieces of paper and I put them into groups. And then they got all the different words and they put them under each of these four sounds, alright? I didn't want to waste up too much paper, so I'm just going to write some of the words here, okay? Okay, guys. Now I want you guys in groups put these words where they should go real quick, right? Or with our current situation, just talk about it with your partner, okay? Where each one of these words goes.
I wasn't listening. I'll take the F.